Fox 17 News at 9.
And first on Fox tonight, Bud Adams makes a major decision.
Yes, he does. The owner of the Tennessee Titans says Vince Young must go. Fox 17 Sports Director Paul Jones begins our team coverage tonight. Big news, what everybody's been waiting to hear.
Interesting.
It really is. You knew this thing was coming to a head. It was just a matter of when the announcement would be made. Bud Adams has been mulling over the future of his franchise the past month. It's not that he wants to get rid of his prized player, but simply a matter of necessity. Young has been a divisive figure several times during his Titans career. Picked third overall in the 2006 NFL Draft, Young flourished at times, but also had run-ins with head coach Jeff Fisher. The final blow-up happening after Young wasn't allowed to return to the Redskins game. Number 10 leaving the locker room after telling Fisher off. In a statement, Bud Adams says, "These kinds of decisions are never easy. I certainly wish that things would have worked out better, but I think it is best for the franchise that we move on at this point." Our team coverage continues with Fox 17's Dan Phillips, who is live outside Baptist Sports Park. Dan, when is the earliest the Titans can unload Vince Young?
That date is actually February 7th. Now, that's the first time that teams can terminate contracts, which means the first time that they could cut Young. Another key date to keep in mind is March 4th. Now, March 4th is the first date of the 2011 fiscal year. That's the first time that players can be traded. So if the Titans were able to or wanted to trade Vince, that would be the first day they could do it. Now, all of these days are still subject, especially that March 4th date, to change because there is no collective bargaining agreement. So that March 4th date could easily be put on hold. So they're still very much up in the air, Paul.
Dan, while Jeff Fisher has to be ecstatic by this news, it sounds like his future is still a little unclear, isn't it?
Yeah, part of owner Bud Adams' statement said he was still evaluating the coach's future, the coaching staff's future, rather. So that's not exactly a ringing endorsement for Coach Fisher at this point, or any of the rest of the members of his staff. But with Vince gone, you got to think that the chances of Coach Fisher staying are a whole lot better, Paul.
Dan, I know you'll rejoin us a little later in the newscast with the highs and lows of Vince Young's Titans career. We'll check back with you in a little bit. I reached a couple of Vince Young's teammates to get their reaction to the announcement. Safety Michael Griffin hadn't heard when I reached him by phone. The news caught him completely off guard.
It's shocking. I mean, it's very shocking it's just very shocking, to see it all came down to this, You would hope that, both sides can work it out and move forward, but, I mean, I don't know, man. It's just shocking.
Griffin played college ball with Vince Young at the University of Texas. Understandably, this news may have hit him harder than some of the other Titans. Of course, a big question is, who do the Titans target now as their next number one quarterback? That's a big question that needs to be answered. They must have some semblance of an idea when they're ready to make a move like this with VY, but we don't know yet as to who that will be. Kevin Cobb of the Eagles, perhaps an option.
He's been mentioned.
After Michael Vick emerged as the Eagles starter, Kevin Cobb went to the bench. He's a good quarterback, could fit into the system that Jeff Fisher likes to run, so we'll see about a player like him. But, a lot of developments on this story.
Paul, one of them just came in, just got this from the newsroom. This is VY tweeting. He does this occasionally, doesn't call the radio shows, but tweets. VY says to the people who were, I guess, in his corner, "Thanks for all the responses. I love you guys, too, and I'm looking forward to new beginnings." And says he's especially like to thank Bud Adams for giving him an opportunity to play for such a great organization, and there's more.
He goes on to say, this is the first time we've heard from VY since this announcement was made. He says, "I look forward to a new beginning and bringing my talents to a new team." Here's another quote, "I would like to thank the city of Nashville and the Tennessee fans for all of their support throughout my 5 years with the Titans." Certainly more to come on this issue.
Absolutely. Vince Young has been laying low throughout this whole process, just showing an appearance a little bit during one of the games at the end of the season, but we haven't had a chance to hear much from him, so those comments from his Twitter account, very interesting.
And he may not be back in Nashville. He spends so much time out of state. It'll be interesting to see if this is the way we hear from him, or if at some point he comes back and addresses the Nashville fans and the media.
He was not at the day the Titans cleaned out their lockers, so we didn't get a chance to visit with him then, and he has been absent quite a bit. You wonder if there's any reason for him to come back to to Baptist Sports Park. He can get
Wouldn't
somebody
seem
else
like
to
it
clean
anymore.
out his goods at this point.
I understand the Titans, though, are offering him a chance to continue his rehab here up until February 7th when they can release him. So I guess that's an
interesting.
option if he chooses to
But
do
he
so.
hasn't done that even up
No,
to this point.
that's
yeah.
correct.
Staying
If I-
in for that third quarter for a couple of minutes.
Yeah, if I were VY at this point, I'm not sure I would take them up on that offer.
Yeah.
You know, it's time to move on, apparently.
I think
Thank
so.
you, Paul.
If you're just joining us, big news from Bud Adams. The Titans owner has decided to part ways with Vince Young. You heard me right. Fox 17's Dan Phillips joins us from Baptist Sports Park with a look back at VY's up and down career in Nashville.
Yeah, Paul, ups and downs is a good way to describe Vince Young's 5 years in Nashville. Young with tremendous highs and lows during his tenure with the Titans. That roller coaster ride actually began before VY's career even started in Music City. Vince Young first came on many Titans fans' radars following a performance for the ages in the Rose Bowl.
4th and 5, the national championship on the line right here. He's going for the corner. He's got it. Vince Young scores.
Young scored again 4 months later, and so it seemed did the Tennessee Titans.
With the third choice in the 2006 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Vince Young, quarterback, University of Texas.
Vince happy to be in Music City and eager to start his career in two-tone blue.
I'm in Nashville, ready to see the guys, excited being here with Coach, and ready to get the show on the road.
And that he did, starting 13 games, finishing 8-5, earning Offensive Rookie of the Year honors and a spot in the Pro Bowl.
It is over. Vince Young has done it again.
But he wasn't able to do it again in 2008. VY injured his knee and then his reputation when it was rumored that Young was on suicide watch, a charge he denied.
I'm good. Now I know how I just needed a day and a half to get to know what was going on and how to handle different things, and now I'm okay.
But the Titans weren't. In 2009, following a humiliating 59-0 loss at New England, Young was reinserted as the starter, and the move paid off, VY leading the team to an 8-2 record. In 2010, Vince picked up right where he left off, helping lead the Titans to a 5-2 start, doing it with his legs and his arm. But against Washington in Week 11, Young injured his thumb, and then his relationship with Coach Fisher came to a head. VY wanting to return to the game, but didn't. Young cursing his coach in the locker room after the loss. At that point, Fisher had enough.
My focus is no longer on Vince Young. My focus is moving forward with this team.
Vince Young made only one more appearance on the Titans sideline, and a brief one at that, hanging out for a little more than a quarter in the Titans' final victory of the season. Young left early. Too early for some, not soon enough for those that matter most. Including Coach Jeff Fisher, General Manager Mike Reinfeldt, and owner Bud Adams. A tough decision, especially for Mr. Adams, who made no secret of his affinity for Vince Young. Paul?
Dan Phillips live from Baptist Sports Park tonight. Excellent story looking back at Vince Young's career with the Titans. Vince Young's departure from the Titans has everyone's attention, including one of his teammates. I caught up with linebacker Will Witherspoon by phone earlier tonight.
I think it's an owner trying to come to grips on what he thinks is best for the team, and sometimes it comes to a push or shove situation, and that's exactly what it is. And yeah, it's surprising, albeit, but at the same time, I have to look at it from a business standpoint. That's when Mr. Adams feels like it's the best decision.
Will Witherspoon on a man soon to be his former teammate. And before I get out of here,